very first types of operations that we should tackle? Why not parentheses? Okay, so exponents. I see 5 squared, which would be 25. And I'm going to rewrite everything without an exponent. 2 squared? 4. Okay, after we do exponents, then what do we tackle? Multiplication and division, right? It's not multiplication, then division. That's confusing because PEMDAS says M and then D. But no. It's multiplication, division. Right, so what? Okay, so 25 times 8. Some of you guys might have thrown it in. Some of you guys might have said, hey, 8 quarters, yeah? It's $2. 200. Snazzy trick. But hold on, we also had a division, yeah? So then 200 cut into equal pieces is good. We can't quite do subtraction because what is that? The correct answer for 2, you do 50 plus minus 4. 110 minus 4 is 1. Take a second, and if you need to correct anything. Now, here's something that you might want to think about in class. Could some of you guys could you have made a mistake somewhere in that process? Definitely, right? Life is about learning from mistakes, and so is math class, sadly. But that's okay if we do it all together and we all admit that we'll make mistakes. I make mistakes in what I say sometimes in the math I write down. And if you ever see me make a mistake or you think it is, raise a hand and be like, are you sure? Because I make mistakes too. But if you made a mistake, could you fix it with your pencil? Like erase it and like mistake you made. Just erasing it. Like crossing out, writing it all day, and act like a teacher to yourself. I was thinking like a colored pen. Yeah. Because in warm-ups, I'm not going to take points off for you guys like marking things wrong in your warm-ups. It's for your brains to be like, ooh, you didn't do this right. Be careful in this part of PEMDAS. And maybe you'll see yourself making the same mistakes over and over again, which would be a good thing to study before a test. Yeah? Okay. That's kind of more for notes because this is just old stuff. But like with exponents, maybe a colored pen would be good to have out. You guys confident enough to tackle number 3 with me? Okay. Anybody do 2 to the power of 4 yet? Yeah. Now some of this is 2 times 2. But do you guys know if that but so you know to the power of 4? Oh, that's hard. Yeah, it's 3 times 3 is 9, not 6. That's a common mistake. But if you get 9, this whole thing isn't as hard. 16. Do we have anything else that we should do before just throwing in the addition, subtraction to our calculator? Yeah, but is there anything to do in the parentheses, or is it just there for clarification? You see it? Yeah. So we should do 16 divided by 16. Careful, though. Canceling means it's 0, but it's not. What's 16 divided by 16? It reduces to 1. We could write it as a fraction, but let's not. Did anybody get down to here? Sweet. And you threw it in your calculator and should have gotten negative? Who got number 2 right before I got there? Who got number 3 right before I got there? Who got both? Ooh. Okay. What were we reviewing here, guys? And what is anyway, PEMDAS. But with PEMDAS, do you guys know the snazzy label for PEMDAS? That's what it stands for, like the acronym, right? But what is it actually covering or explaining? Order of operations. So, does order matter? Yeah. Anybody play baseball in here? Or softball? Does the batting order make a difference? Does anybody cheer for any big teams? Any Dodger fans? Any Giant fans? Oh, okay, well, you guys are lame. Anyway, just kidding. Batting order makes a difference. Order in math makes a difference. And so order with exponents make a difference also. We're going to go to our notes in our composition books. If you guys don't have any questions on that, let's go ahead and go back to our notes. But we have a question in the very back. What's up, bud?
Yeah, so I see this thing on like Instagram, and it's like, what's the answer? And
People disagree all over the place.
No, they're like, no, but this is PEMDAS. Is it always PEMDAS?
Yeah. And so the people that got a different answer didn't remember their PEMDAS. And so they were arguing for something that they didn't know the rules to. Does that make sense? Does that ever happen online? Do people like make arguments when they don't really have facts to back what they're saying? Politics all over the place. Anyway, so beware arguing for something if you're not totally sure it's right. And you don't have something to back up besides it feels right. Worst reason in the world. All right. Notes open. You guys should have gotten these worksheets, yeah? Okay, how many worksheets do you have in total? Except for some of you guys, I think, gone on Thursday and Friday, yeah? Okay, so I have extra copies. Just because I want to make sure everybody has these worksheets, because this, or these, show you where the rules come from. Now, we are going to do something tomorrow where we do a quick summary of the rules. Today is basically just let's do practice problems until chapel. So that way homework is a little bit easier. But I want to make sure that you guys have these worksheets first of all. So does anybody not have any of the 6 worksheets? Was anybody gone on Wednesday and Thursday? Go ahead and stand up real quick if you don't have any of the worksheets at all, because I have some complete packets. Oh, everybody has at least the first 3? Okay. So we don't need that. But who doesn't have the last 3? Go ahead and stand up, because I know some of you guys were on retreat, right? Okay, I'm going to come by and give you guys the last 3. Yeah.
Miss D, when do we turn this in? Are we supposed to
You mean the form online? That one? Stay standing. Let me go ahead and get these ones out. You can go. It didn't work? Okay, we'll talk about it. What was that? Worksheet number 4. Who else is still standing? Did anybody else not get worksheet number 4 that I just passed out? Okay, now we need worksheet number 5. 1. There you go. Thank you, thank you. And then the last one. Although I think I'm missing some of these. There we go. There we go. You're welcome. There we go. And there we go. There we go. Okay. In each of these worksheets, now, sadly, because I was gone on Thursday and Friday, but Mrs. Ashdale was here to help you guys. I think it was Mrs. Ashdale, wasn't it? Yeah.
I didn't understand it really.
That's okay. I gave her the file, but I think it was missing the pictures for some reason, so she might have had to kind of struggle. I know you guys did some practice problems, though. This was the very first worksheet. All right, guys, let's go ahead and find this one, okay? This is the product rule. If you guys want to, actually, you already should have, because I told you to. You should have numbered this number 1, the product rule. And we wrote this one out all together on Wednesday, right? And what we noticed when we were looking through this worksheet, was, technically we kind of did this a little bit too early. When multiplying bases that match. You guys totally got this one, and you told me how to do it on Wednesday. And it was like, as long as the bases, the big number on bottom matches, then they're all going to be the same type as we multiply them. What ended up happening to their exponents? What's the shortcut? Yeah. When we multiply, as long as the bases match, all we have to do is add the exponents. So we didn't get to fill in the words on Wednesday because we were kind of running out of time, but we did get the rule down here. What we didn't get to fill in was the product rule. Do you guys remember what product means? A vocab word that stands for? Kind of easy. Notes. Tons of mistakes on, harder problems with lots of steps. But out of all of these, this is the one that people tend to confuse a lot. So did you guys get any words down? Oh, you did, right? What words did you get down for this one? Distribute the power into the parentheses. I like it. Does that work? Distribute the power I'm going to say, is this okay, to all the bases? Do you guys know what I mean by that? In the parentheses. The 2 needed it and the 3, the 4 and the 6, the x and the y, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 3, and the x, to all the bases. So you could think of it as covering your bases, right? Have you ever heard of that phrase, or is that too old for you guys? If you're trying to cover all your bases like in a baseball team, trying to make sure everything's covered, someone's watching out for everything. So you have to distribute it to everybody. Distributive rule, you guys probably wrote down something for that too, but can we get down to the algebraic rule? What did you guys end up writing for your algebraic rule? You had parentheses, right? And what did you have inside your parentheses? A, B, C. And what was out here? M. So what happened to A? Got raised to the, B got raised to the, and C got raised to the. Cool. Can we just skip, since I know you guys went through these with her, can we skip to the algebraic rule for the quotient rule, which is number 3? This also tells you what order to put them in your notes. What's the algebraic rule for the quotient rule? Oh, that was way too big. Sorry, guys. There we go. I think you had like a fraction inside, right? What was on top? Ooh, you had little powers in here too, little exponents?
Yeah, we have AM and then BS, but it's on the same. So AM is on the same line.
Oh. Interesting.
And then on the bottom she put AM, B.
Okay. So A, M, B, S, all over A, N, B, T. You know why? I think she was helping you tackle the really hard one in this one, because that one had 2 different bases on the top and the bottom, right? What was on the outside of all these guys? Anything? No. Okay, so it was just this big old fraction, right? So what did you guys do to the A's in order to simplify, since there were some up top and some down bottom? Subtract. Good. Division is subtracting. And what did you do to the B's? Good. So you're dividing like bases and you end up subtracting, but you have to make sure they match, right? You needed the A's with the M and N and the B's with the S. Okay, good. This one's number 4. The easiest. What's anything to the 0? Thanks. Okay, this guy, number 5. Those of you guys seeing the worksheet, I'm trying to at least have you get the rules. At least get the rules. And some of your from Thursday are trying to fill in where. Five is the distributive property for quotients. You guys have that one too? Okay. So down here, did we do the A's and B's again? I think we should have had a big old parenthesis in there, right? Fraction. Okay. Oh. That's why. Help me out. Is this number? Now I have the right one? Cool. Okay. What do you have? Kids want to do in negative exponent. Got it. Okay. And this is one I think you guys have a hard time. What we're doing as negative exponents. A to the. Did you guys have parentheses or no?
Yeah,
But after. Okay. A to the negative. But then look at that one. These are two separate rules. Just in case you didn't, put a big ol' or in between. These are two separate rules. If you have a negative exponent without a fraction, it becomes a fraction. And if you have a negative exponent in a fraction, where does it go? Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for letting me get the kiddos that were gone caught up with their different properties. And we have all of them written 1, 2, 3A, 3B, 4, 5, 6. Here's what I want you guys to do if you haven't done it already. I want you guys to go ahead and get these cut out along the bold lines and then tape them or glue them in your notes. Actually, I will have glue sticks tomorrow, so we might have a little bit of chance tomorrow to do this. But if you don't have these filled out yet, that end in the property, we'll try to get those filled out so that you guys can. Get them in your notes and then have all the rules in there. But here's the problem, guys. We have a homework due tomorrow, right? So how are we supposed to do some of these sample problems? I know that you did them with Mrs. Ashdale last week, right? But if I was to give you guys this one, for instance, what would you say for 6.7 raised to the 0 power?
1.
Because anything to the 0 power is almost anything. 0 to the 0 doesn't actually work. How about this guy? We could write it -2 times -2 times -2 times -2, but do you guys also realize it would have been 1 over? Why? It's not to the 4th power, it's to the negative 4th power. So remember, whenever you have a negative, where do you need to put it? Flipped in the other direction, right? However, is that the hardest example we could possibly get? No. So what if we went way down here to example number 6? Oh, wait, that has words. Let's not do that one. That has words too. If you guys look at homework, I was really nice and didn't give you nasty, wordy ones. What would we do if we start having something like this? Oh, it is. It's way too small, isn't it? What happens when there are parentheses and we have to deal with exponents, guys? What's that snazzy word that we saw today? What do we have to do when we have parentheses?
Distribute.
Distribute. To what?
To the number Number inside of the parentheses.
All of them, though, right? So when you have the 3D over 2, would you guys make the common mistake, or would you do a good job?
Good job.
The last one of today. What would you do with this guy?
Solve it.
How? Who would get raised to the 4th? The 3 gets the 4th?
Yes.
The D gets the 4th?
Yes.
And the 2 gets
Yes.
the 4th? Because we distribute. Bye, guys. Try homework. And we will problems, but don't. Yeah, except today was chapel day. So chapel day, we kind of ran out of